Students of class 12, today I am going to start the first chapter, that is relation and function. So the first topic is relation. Here I am going to discuss about the types of relation. So let me first recall some of the points of relation. So what is a relation? Relation is a subset of Cartesian product. So Cartesian product is A cross B. For example, if in set A we have two elements, that is 1 and 2, and in B we have 3 and 4. So how we will write the set A cross B? Set A cross B. In set A cross B we have the elements which are set in ordered pairs, and the elements are related from A to set B. So A cross B is equal to, these are in ordered pairs, we can say it as ordered pairs. A comma B is called ordered pair. So 1 is related to 3, then 1 is related to 4, 2 is related to 3, then 2 is related to 4. That means possible combination of the elements of set A to the elements of set B. So we have to write the possible combination. So this is Cartesian product A cross B. And what is relation? Relation is the subset of the Cartesian product. So R is the subset of A cross B. So now I am taking one example. See the first example, R, relation R in set A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. That means set A is having 4 elements, and relation R is defined as like this. A comma B such that A minus B is equal to 10. So what are the elements in set R? So we have to write the elements of set R. So by this condition we can easily say that there are no elements which are inside the relation R, because here the condition is like A minus B is equal to 10. So you can easily see in set A we have only 4 elements, that is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So no 2 elements. If we take any 2 elements, the difference can never be what? 10. So there will be no elements in R. That means what we can conclude? That R is an empty set. So we can say R, here the relation R is an empty set. And you already know that an empty set can be written as like this, that is called phi. So this is an empty set. Next example I have taken the relation R1 in set A. I have taken the same set, but the relation is different. R1 can be defined as A comma B such that modulus of A minus B is greater than or equal to 0. So what is the condition? Modulus of A minus B is greater than or equal to 0. That means you have to take 2 elements, any 2 different elements from set A, so that the difference will be greater than or equal to 0. So first of all, if we take 2 different elements, for example, if I will take 2 and 3, suppose 2 and 3. So you will put, in place of A you will put 2, and in place of B you will put 3. So 2 minus 3 will be minus 1. So modulus of minus 1 will be plus 1, and plus 1 is greater than 0. So if you take 2 different numbers, you will always get a positive number, because it is written as modulus symbol is written here. So you will always get a positive number here. Greater than 0 means you will get positive number. And what is the meaning of equal? Equal means it will be equal to 0. So if we will take 2 same numbers, then what happen? The difference of 2 same numbers will be equal to 0. So what is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is we can take 2 different element of set A also, and we can also take 2 same element of A also. That means there will be all elements there will be all elements present in relation R1. So we can say that R1 will be what? R1 will be, first of all we will write for greater than 0, that means positive. So we can take any numbers in A and B from set A. So first of all I will take 1 and 2. So 1 comma 2, then 1 comma 3, then 1 comma 4, then 2 comma 3, then 2 comma 4, then we can take 3 comma 4, then again you will write like this 2 comma 1, then 3 comma 1, then 4 comma 1, then 3 comma 2, then 4 comma 2, then 4 comma 3. So these are the elements I have written, so that the difference of two elements, and by taking the modulus symbol we will get a positive numbers. For example, 1 minus 2. What is the value of 1 minus 2? It will be minus 1, and the modulus of minus 1 will be what? It will be greater than 0. So the first condition is satisfied, that is it will be a positive number. So these are the elements I have written for greater than 0. Next condition is for equal to 0. So for equal to 0 we have to write the same element, that means 1 comma 1, then 2 comma 2, then 3 comma 3, then 4 comma 4. So here we have written the two condition. So what we can conclude? We can conclude that the relation R1 is equal to A cross A. What is A cross A? Already I have discussed that A cross A is what? Cartesian product. So in previous example I have taken two different sets. Here I have taken the same set A. So A cross A is the Cartesian product from set A to A. In A cross A we have these numbers of elements, and also in R1 also we have all the elements which are similar to A cross A. That means we can conclude that R1 is equal to A cross A. So here in example 1 we got the conclusion that R is an empty set. Similarly in example 2, what we can conclude? We can say that R1 is equal to A cross A. That means R1 is a universal set. So by the two above examples we can conclude the two definitions. So the first definition is a relation R in set A is called an empty relation if no element of A is related to any element of A. That means we have already seen in example 1 that no element of A is related to any element of A. In that case we can say that R is an empty set. So I have written R is equal to what? Phi, and phi is also a subset of any set, means every set. So phi is a subset of what? A cross A. So the next definition is a relation R in set A is called a universal relation if each element of A is related to every element of A. That means every element of A should be related to every element of A. In that case only we can say the relation is a universal set. So every element, each and every element should be related to itself. So this is the final relation, this is the final conclusion. So R is equal to what? A cross A. So here is the definition number 3. So you will get the definition in book also. The same definition I have written. So the definition is a relation R in set A is called reflexive if A comma A belongs to R for every A belongs to A. Like in example number 2 we have seen that 1 comma 1 was present, 2 comma 2 was present, 3 comma 3, 4 comma 4 was present, and 1, 2, 3, 4 all the elements were also present in set A also. So the relation is called reflexive if every element of a set is related to itself. For example, suppose मान लो एक plane है, in a plane there are many triangles. So I will name the triangles like T1, T2, T3, T4, बहुत सारा triangles है एक plane में. So अगर मैं लिखती हूँ कि T1 is congruent to T1. Congruent to T1. That means what? The triangle that T1 triangle is congruent to itself, and the statement is also what? True. That means triangle वही ट्रायंगल खुद से क्या होगा, कॉन्करेंट होगा, दैट मीन्स द स्टेटमेंट इज ट्रू, दैट इज कॉल्ड अ रिफ्लेक्सिव रिलेशन. So the next relation is symmetric. One more thing is there, you have to see the condition, that is for every A belongs to A, that means the element should be present in that set. That means अगर मैंने triangles लिया है एक plane में, तो अगर मैं एक T1 triangle ले रही हूँ तो T1 triangle should be present in that plane. अगर मैंने T2 triangle लिया है then T2 triangle should be present in that plane. So the next relation is symmetric relation. So what is symmetric relation? If A1, A2 belongs to R, implies that A2, A1 belongs to R for all A1, A2 belongs to A. That means similar example, I will tell you the same example. For example, again there is a plane and there are many triangles, and I have named the triangles like T1, T2, T3, T4. So if T1 is congruent to T2, then T2 is also congruent to what? T1. But here the condition is what? For all T1, T2 belongs to A. That means T1 and T2 उसी plane में present होना होगा. For example, अगर हम लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं that x, suppose हम ऐसे बोल सकते हैं, if x is equal to y, then the converse means the reverse, y is also equal to what? X. So same यहाँ पे हम लोग उसको सिमेट्रिक रिलेशन का नाम इसीलिए दे रहे हैं बिकॉज इसको हम किस में पढ़ रहे हैं, इसको हम लोग सेट में पढ़ रहे हैं. तो ऑलरेडी ये रिलेशन तुम लोग क्लास 9 में जान चुके हो इन यूक्लिड ज्योमेट्री, दैट इफ x इज इक्वल टू y देन द वैल्यू ऑफ y इज आल्सो इक्वल टू x. बट हियर वी आर डूइंग इट इन सेट, दैट्स व्हाई द नेम हियर, द नेम इज व्हाट? सिमेट्रिक रिलेशन. So a relation is symmetric if A1, A2 belongs to R, implies A2, A1 should also belongs to R. The third relation is transitive relation. So what is a transitive relation? If A1, A2 belongs to R and A2, A3 belongs to R, then A1, A3 also belongs to R for all A1, A2, A3 belongs to A. अगेन अगर मैं सेम यूक्लिड ज्योमेट्री अगर हम लोग देखते हैं, यूक्लिड का जो पोस्टुलेट था, तो उसमें तुमने पोस्टुलेट्स में, एक्सियोम्स में बहुत कुछ उसमें पढ़ा है, तो उसमें उसी से हम लोग रिलेट करके यहाँ पे उसको ले रहे हैं बिकॉज हम लोग यहाँ पे किस पे पढ़ रहे हैं, हम लोग उसको सेट में पढ़ रहे हैं, इसीलिए नाम वहाँ पे, यहाँ पे नाम क्या हो गया डिफरेंट, यहाँ पे हम लोग एक नेम यूज कर रहे हैं. सो ट्रांजिटिव जो हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, ट्रांजिटिव रिलेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल तुम लोग पहले तुम लोग को मिल चुका है ये सब, दैट x, if x is equal to 2, sorry, x is equal to y and y is equal to z, तो इन दोनों कंडीशन से हम लोग क्या कंक्लूड कर सकते हैं, that if x is equal to y and y is equal to z, then what happens, then x is also equal to z. So this is the relation, that is the relation that is called what? Transitive relation. सेम अगर मैं ट्रायंगल्स का एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं, प्लेन में बहुत सारे ट्रायंगल्स है, एंड इफ T1, T2, T3, देयर आर 3 triangles present in that plane. So if T1 is congruent to T2 and T2 is congruent to T3, then what happen? Then T1 is also congruent to T3. So this is the transitive relation. So this is all about the 3 relation. So तो क्वेश्चन किस तरह से पूछेगा कि सपोज एक रिलेशन दे दिया है, R डिफाइन किया हुआ है, एंड एक सेट दे दिया जाएगा, सेट A. सो पहले तो तुमको रिलेशन R को बनाना है, फॉर्म करना है, देन यू हैव टू चेक वेदर रिफ्लेक्सिव, सिमेट्रिक, ट्रांजिटिव रिलेशन आर सेटिस्फाइड और नॉट. अगर सेटिस्फाइड होता है तो आपको लिखना है यस दिस रिलेशन इज सेटिस्फाइड, अगर नहीं होता है तो नो लिखना है. एंड द फाइनल इज इफ द 3 रिलेशन इज सेटिस्फाइड इन 1 रिलेशन, मतलब एक रिलेशन तुमको दिया है और उसी में ये तीनों रिलेशन अगर सेटिस्फाई हो रहा है, देन उस रिलेशन को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एन इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन. इक्विवेलेंस रिलेशन. सो इसका डेफिनेशन तुम लोग को डेफिनेशन नंबर 4 में बुक में मिल जाएगा, तो वहां से तुम लोग लिख लेना. सो व्हाट इज एन इक्विवेलेंट रिलेशन? If a relation satisfies all the above 3 relation, then that relation is called an equivalence relation. So next I am going to discuss one example of this this relation, reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So here is the question: determine whether the relation are reflexive, symmetric and transitive or not. So the first is relation R in set A. Set A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As R is equal to x comma y such that y is divisible by x. That means the second element is divisible by the first element in the ordered pair. The second element is divisible by the first element or not. You have to see this. So first of all, we have to check for reflexive. So for reflexive, we have to check that a comma a belongs to R or not. So a comma a, that means you have to take the same element. That means if I am taking 1, so in second element in ordered pair we have to take 1. So 1 comma 1. So what is the condition? Second element is divisible by first element or not. So yes, 1 is divisible by 1. Similarly, if I will take 2 comma 2, then 2 is also divisible by 2. 3 is also divisible by 3. Similarly, 4 is also divisible by 4. 5 is also divisible by 5. 6 is also divisible by 6. That means what? The relation is a reflexive relation. So yes, this is a reflexive relation. So what you have to write? You have to write that here every element of A is divisible by itself. Therefore, reflexive relation is satisfied. That means this is the relation R is reflexive. So you have to write R is reflexive relation. R is reflexive relation. Next, you have to check for symmetric. So in symmetric, what we have to check? That if A1 comma A2 belongs to what? R, implies A2 comma also belongs A2 comma A1 also belongs to what? R. That means here you can say what? By this condition we can say that A2 is divisible by A1 implies A1 is also divisible by A2. But see, if I will take any two numbers, say we can write in place of A1 we can write 6 and in place of A2 we can write what? 2. Sorry, in place of A1 we can write what? 2 and in place of A2 we can write 6. So the condition is what? The second element is divisible by the first element. So 6 is divisible by 2. Yes, it is correct. By this we can say what? 6 is divisible by 2. This is correct. This belongs to R. Okay. But this is true or not? Means you have to interchange the number. So 6 comma 2. From this what we can say? 2 is divisible by 6. But this is true. No, this is not true. This is not this element, this particular element does not belongs to R. Because according to the condition of R, we have what? Second element should be divisible by the first element. So this is correct, but this is not correct. That means symmetric relation. Here the relation is not symmetric. So what you have to write? You have to write R is not symmetric. In place of not symmetric, you can also write anti-symmetric. Both have same meaning. Next, the third one is transitive. So for transitive, so the next is transitive. In transitive, we have to show that if x comma y belongs to R, we have to prove it that if x comma y belongs to R and y comma z belongs to R, then x comma z also belongs to R. That means I have taken one example from this set only. From this set I have taken some elements. For example, 1 comma 2 belongs to R. What is the meaning of this? 2 is divisible by 1. Yes, that statement is correct. 2 is divisible by 1. And next statement what I have taken? 6 is divisible by 2. Means I have written 2 comma 6. So this is also correct. 6 is divisible by 2. Now then what I have to conclude? We can conclude that 1 comma 6 also belongs to R. That means what? From here we can say that 6 is divisible by 1. That is also a true statement. That means this particular relation is also a transitive relation. So finally what we can conclude, that this relation is reflexive and transitive but not symmetric. So that means this is not an equivalence relation. So if it is asked in question, then you have to say that this relation is not an equivalence relation. So thank you for today. Try to do the first exercise. Okay, thank you.